Hi everyone. Um, for everyone who's new to this channel, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Meenakshi and I'm an energy worker. I study the occult, I teach the occult, and I like getting into the world of mysteries, getting into the world of darkness, and getting to know how the universe functions. So, primarily, we would like to call ourselves magical beings who are like magical scientists. So, basically, we are working with the energies around us. A lot of people have sent me mails asking me how to start on their practice, and I wanted to make a video to help those people who wanted to start their journey into this world and help them a bit to begin and how to begin. So, firstly, we need to know whenever we start, whenever we start off with anything to do with uh, when we are stuck with our mundane world, like when we wake up, we do things, and the same brushing, the same getting ready and going out, and we generally don't know what we are doing, and we do everything according to what everybody around us wants us to do. And whether it's your family, whether it's your boss, whether it's your work, whether it's your friends. So you constantly find yourself getting stuck to what people expect out of you. And then sometime you realize that that is not exactly what you want, or there is a certain void that you find it within yourself. That is when you start questioning yourself. Is this what you is this what life is? Then you find, then you read about, we are lucky to be born in a wonderful spiritual land, India. And India being a very spiritual place, we tend to read about the yogis, the sadhaks who've been there in the past, our ancestors who's been there, and we get into their lives, and somewhere we feel that there's some connect, that something that we are missing. That's when we start questioning ourselves. That's when we start our journey. That's when we start going inward. Sometimes we do get hurt a lot, and a lot of pain strikes us somewhere so that we go inward. So, where we start? Generally, when we want to start a practice, when we start believing in the magical self, what we do is we generally tend to look towards witchcraft or Wicca. Witchcraft and Wicca are not the same. Wicca is a religion and witchcraft is the practice. So, when we talk about witchcraft, what basically it is, so we get to understand, we begin our journey with being a witch, as that's what everybody says. But then, not all practitioners really want to be called a witch. So, definitely, they have different opinions, different practices that they do, and they would like to be called in different manner. So obviously every practice is different, every title is different, every study is different. Primarily it's a study where we are trying to manipulate the energies around us according to our will and what we want to do. Where do you begin? Most witches or practitioners, it's a whole lot of study for your entire life, and it's just not the beginning, it's just the beginning of the journey. The moment you start, you will see that you're a changed person altogether. 1 week into the practice, 2 weeks into the practice, 1 month into the practice, 1 year into the practice, 10 years into the practice, you will constantly see yourself change, you'll constantly see yourself evolve, you'll constantly see yourself from a different perspective altogether, and you'll know that there's something more. There's something more all the time. A word of advice would be never dabble with the energies around you, because everything is energy. And of course, whenever we are shifting an energy from one point to the other, we are also changing with that energy. So it's best not to dabble with these energies unless you're very sure that you want to be a part of this practice. There are various kind of practices which are there. You can begin with your kitchen. You can begin with uh, your planting of trees or plants, your garden, or wherever you are, you can begin there. And whatever you have, ingredients around you, you can begin there with as simple as uh, things in the kitchen like salt, sugar, coffee, cinnamon, cardamom, uh, saffron, candles, olive oil. That's where we all begin from. So you need to study a lot about these ingredients, where they come from, what their properties are, what their magical properties are, what their normal properties are, and you get to study them a lot. And once you study them, you'll understand exactly how you can use them. What is the kind of practice that you want to do? Firstly, a word of advice would be, please don't get into this practice just because you want to make money, just because you want to do spells for others, just because you want to make a quick buck. That's not the way. If you want to, where we mostly begin from is protection. And probably what happens is we always get stuck into some kind of a thing where we see that we need that protection. We need that extra money. We need that popularity. We need that fame. We need something that is, pulling us down, and we want to go up the ladder. We see that the entire world is probably going against you. We see that your best friends are getting against you. We see that we are having very bad relationships. We see that our parents don't understand us. There is nothing which is going right. At times, we see the entire world crashing around us. That is when we seek help from the